Do I look like shit? Probably. Not really good at this sleeping thing. I tend to lay awake until, I don't know, around 3, and then I sleep intermittently until 6, and it's still dark at 6, so it's really hard to get up and get going when it's dark. And I guess yesterday my headlamp, when it got squished into my bag, got turned on, so the battery was dead. My power bank is down to 1 bar, and this is day 5. I'm already pretty much out of power. So I didn't even bother charging my headlamp. I thought, oh, fuck it. I'm in bed before dark anyway. I only needed it this morning, and I did everything in the dark this morning just to try and conserve power and not use my cell phone, because even that is running out of power. I have been not listening to any music or podcasts to not use up the power, and this morning I am listening to podcasts because I desperately need it, because I have a really long road walk and I just need something. I need something. I can't do this in dead silence. That's the beauty of having a cell phone and podcasts and music. I've also had really no service, no power, so my phone's been blabbing at me so far today from all the shit that came in yesterday. I don't know, do I have more complaining to do? It's a lovely day. It's supposed to be really nice. I have had no real rain, just some like sprinkles here and there, but for the most part, the weather is calling for no rain and sunshine for the next 5 days. I might get through this without rain. I doubt it. That's not possible. But for the next little while, I have no rain, and that's nice. And I don't know, my body's feeling pretty beat up. But as it goes, you go to sleep and try to rest up, and things throb all night long. And then you get up and you do it again. And it feels less bad in the morning and much worse later on in the day. I am supposed to be going, I think, 28 kilometers today. There is a campground in Hope Bay, and I'm really crossing my fingers that maybe they have an available site and I can, I don't know, wash up. It's been 5 days. I'm pretty gross. Wash up and hopefully charge up. I don't see Ryan until Monday, and it's Friday today, so I may be fucked because there's no towns to walk through. Yesterday I went through Lion's Head, and I was so distraught with my dad coming to pick up Penny that I went into the food land and I bought 2 bananas and 2 little applesauce thingies. I didn't use the bathroom in the town. I didn't try to find coffee, which is usually like necessary. I didn't even try to find a plug. I just left and cried. Like I couldn't bring myself to do anything normal. Anyway, I wasted my town stop yesterday, so there are no more, nothing. There's nothing until Wyerton, where I am meeting Ryan on Monday. So I don't know what to do. I have to conserve power, but I really need a podcast. Hey, you cow. You the one making all the fucking racket last night? You and your buddies having a moo party? Jesus. No idea. Before I get too far into the pain cave today, I didn't really talk about anything yesterday because I had to send Penny home, but today I will talk about my crummy shoulders. And this is going to be a long one, sorry. But I'm kind of looking at these videos like my own little personal diary. I don't know. I rarely talk about myself, and I'm gonna keep switching because it hurts a lot. So a little under 4 years ago, I started getting my first niggles of pain in what I call shoulder 1, which is my left shoulder, and it turned out to be frozen shoulder, also known as adhesive capsulitis. It doesn't really have a cause, or I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Sometimes frozen shoulder will come on from an injury or a surgery, or for no fucking reason at all. And for me, it was no fucking reason at all. There's a few things that go kind of against me. Number 1, I have type 1 diabetes. Number 2, I am female. And number 3, although I'm over 40 now, when it started in this one, I was approaching 40. So it's very common in women over 40, and especially common in people that have type 1 diabetes. I don't know why. I don't think they know why. So that started 4 years ago, and frozen shoulder is an extremely long process. There's supposed to be 3 phases: the freezing phase, the frozen phase, and the thawing stage. It's not idiot proof, but I found it very difficult to determine which stage I was in. It wasn't clear cut. The pain was slowly increased over the span of maybe 8 months, until the point where it was excruciating. And it was so slow that you almost didn't notice it was getting worse until one day it was really bad. Eventually the pain, it gets to a point where it just aches, and stabbing pain all day, every day. Nothing will relieve it. Maybe ibuprofen, but I ruined my stomach years ago with dental problems, and now I can't tolerate ibuprofen. There's not a whole lot to help the pain. Heat doesn't really help. The only thing that I found did help was ice, and that's probably because it would freeze it and then I wouldn't really feel it. Every day today was just worse than the day before. So at its worst was about 6 months, and I still don't know what phase that was. Everything I read on the internet says you shouldn't feel very much pain in the actual frozen stage, but fuck me, that hurt. I've never experienced pain like that, and the worst part was sleeping was the most painful. So for 6 months, I basically didn't sleep. I slept very sporadically. I would sleep on the couch because it allowed me ways to kind of wedge myself in and support myself with an army of pillows. I was alternating between NyQuil one night, Gravol the next night, anything I could do to force me to sleep through the pain. But it was excruciating. I respect people, chronic pain. I respect chronic pain. So it's almost 4 years later, it still hurts. It still hurts. So the other aspect of it is a restricted range of motion. And some people do get like a full frozen where they can't really move their arm much. Mine never got to a full frozen, but I couldn't reach top of my head. I couldn't reach a back pocket. Putting on jackets was extremely difficult. Pulling up pants was hard. All these basic things you don't think of, I couldn't do anymore, and it was really frustrating. And like I said before, the most frustrating part was the duration. It's one thing to be in pain or not be able to do something while a bone heals or something, but this is chronic fucking pain for years. The internet tells you 1 to 3 years, but if I'm into year 4 and shoulder 1 still hurts, I haven't even talked about shoulder 2. on this road. Bumping up dust into my face. Okay, well, shoulder 2, number 2. I started feeling the niggles in this about a year and a half ago. So what was that? Two and a half years into shoulder 1, shoulder 2 starts. And as soon as I felt that pain, I was like, oh, fuck no. Fuck my life. I can't go through this again. I can't. And I went into a bit of a deep depression. I started physiotherapy as soon as I felt the pain, and for what it's worth, I've done all kinds of stuff. Deep tissue massage, dry needling, acupuncture, shockwave, you name it. So I started going to physical therapy for shoulder 2, and as we progressed week by week with this physiotherapist, the pain was getting worse and I was having more trouble doing the exercises she'd given me, which told me I knew what I was in for, because the physiotherapist said, I don't think it's frozen shoulder. And I'm like, I do. I know my body better than you do, because the symptoms and where the pain was exactly mimicking shoulder 1. So here I am, a year and a half later. This is part of the reason why it was very difficult to get out and train for this trip or do any kind of backpacking. I couldn't really wear a backpack. We had planned to do a trip in May, and come April, I'm like, there's no way it's going to be better in time. This one, the painful stage lasted longer, but it wasn't as sharp for some reason. It was just more nagging. So I, again, spent another 6 months sleeping on the couch, not sleeping for the most part. I paced around the house in tears most of the time, because it's incomprehensible. It's insidious. Frozen shoulder is fucking insidious. Okay, so what the fuck is that? So backpacking is really hard, and I'm constantly kind of leaning over and I'm holding it off my shoulder, I'm holding it down here, I'm doing this, I'm adjusting straps. It's the other reason why trekking poles are not very good for me, because I need my hands constantly to hold the to give it a break, because it's gonna fucking kill me. And by the end of the day, it is so painful. Maybe my body's not ready for this. I'd be willing to bet it wasn't. But what am I gonna do? Keep putting my life off? Both shoulders, I mean, even this one, that's about as high as I can reach on my head. This one, I can touch the top of my head finally. And both times when the pain was at its worst, it took me out of running. And that was really frustrating, because running is my form of mental break from work, from life, exercise. I love to run. And both times, just the impact of running was just too painful. So I had to stop doing it for a while. And what I did pick up with shoulder 2, as I mentioned in a previous video, was inline skating. So I would rollerblade till my heart exploded. I would push myself, redlining my heart for an hour at a time. And it was the best form of exercise. Not to mention, it was probably going to give me some bums of seal, which is help for this kind of shit. So it was the only thing I could do pain-free was inline skating. At least I had that this time. I didn't have that the first time because I hadn't had inline skates. Didn't buy them again until this year. Is that it? This is long. I said it was long. There you go. Frozen shoulder. Adhesive capsulitis. I do not wish it on my worst enemy. I hope nobody has to experience this. I really do. Because here we are, 4 years later, almost 4 years later. December makes it 4 years. And I still don't sleep very well at night. I still wake up in pain constantly from both of them. I think it's going to be an ongoing thing for the rest of my life. And my biggest fear is that it reoccurs. I don't know if I'm going to handle that very well. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. But after what I've been through, I wouldn't be surprised. One thing that has affected me with having frozen shoulder and backpacking is that anything on this side of the pack is stuff I don't need. So like, I can't get into my hip pocket without doing some magical bending to get this hand over there. And everything that's on this side is stuff that I will need often, so I can reach back here where my glucose tablets are and snacks and who knows what else, and I have more snacks in here. But anything over there, that's stuff that I don't need to access for the day, unless I have to take my pack off. This BioSteel drink mix, electrolytes, sugar-free, and it's disgusting. But I'm drinking it because I don't know when I'm going to see water next, and I can't waste this precious nastiness. Yeah. Water, so I was able to dump that nasty BioSteel. This is my favorite. 1 tablet of Noon Tropical, the OG flavor. I used to work for Noon for a while, and I hoarded whatever original flavors I could get because they reformulated the product with different sweeteners, and now I don't like it. So when did this expire? 08/20. Still good though. Never opened it. I mixed this with watermelon Kool-Aid. I love it. I wanted to pop on just to make a note that a couple of days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, I turned off all of the notifications on my email. And that has helped me greatly because my work emails were continuing to come in. My voicemail box is full and I have not emptied it because people are calling me, and now I have clients texting me, and I'm intentionally waiting like a day to respond back to them. And it is for my own mental health that I have turned all of this off. And to be realistic about it, I'm really proud that I did that. Normal me wouldn't do that. Normal me would just keep working through it. I know I have to deal with the emails at some point. It's not just going to go away. Stuff is being left open-ended, but in my business, again, there's only so much work I can do. I can't clean every project up. There's too many moving parts, too many other consultants, permits, whatever, that I have to wait on, that there's impossible to say, okay, everything's done, let's go. It's all going to keep happening while I'm here, but it's not happening. I'm ignoring. Where do I even start? I'm at Bay Campground, and this is like an oasis right now. I've really been pushing myself day after day beyond what I should be. I am so wrecked. Haven't really eaten very much since I started this trip. But today was really, really hot. Really hot. And the only thing that was the light at the end of the tunnel was knowing that I had a campsite booked here that I asked my lovely husband Ryan to call and book this morning because I had no cell service. I've already had a shower. As you can see, I washed all my clothes in the shower, and I'm wearing my rain pants. I can't even think about hiking again right now. I don't know what it was today. It must have been the heat. I did meet a lovely lady named Lisa. Met her about 16k in. She was actually coming from the same location I was coming from. She's doing end-to-end hike as far as putting her hikes together. She's not doing a through hike, but her and her husband are staying here, so she asked if I wanted to hike with her, and I hiked with her for 10k all the way here. And it had its ups and downs. I mean, literally, quite literally. The bonus was it really took my mind off of focusing on my pain. My shoulders are really bad. I can barely move my arms. It was nice to have company. It was nice to talk to somebody, actually, for more than a few minutes on the phone. I haven't really run into too many people. It's been quiet. I decided to make some oatmeal, and I can't stomach it. It's not appetizing. Coffee's always appetizing. But I think I really I need to recover from today. All my stuff is charging in the bathroom, which is like a 5-minute walk away, and I just left it in there. Like, there's no shame. The beach is just down the road, Georgian Bay, so I should really go down there and just decompress. I feel so terrible right now. I'll come back. I guess I'm sleeping in my work pants. What's wrong with me? My rain pants tonight. These lovely classic Frog Togs. I knew that washing my sleep pants might mean they'd still be wet, and I didn't care. And they are still wet because they're just cotton leggings. Why did I wash my work pants? Because dirty crotch. They smelled. My sleeping bag is way too warm for this temperature. I wasn't expecting it to be into the 30s. Even the nights have been not so cold. The first few nights were actually quite cold, but last night and tonight are both very warm. So I guess I'm sleeping in my rain pants. At least they're not like tacky. I don't know. I'm still not feeling well. I made noodles and I'm forcing myself to eat them, but I don't feel good. I'm considering possibly staying here tomorrow. I don't want to. It throws my whole schedule off, but the thought of putting on that backpack right now is... nuh-uh. We'll see.